risk typically, but, you know, reverse osmosis has different efficiencies with different elements.
So it really comes down to your judgment. You don't know what is in the internal infrastructure of the building. Do you want to have a conversation to tell people about the dangers of lead? Or do you want to go through, pay for it, and find out with the intention of knowing you may find things that will cost us money?
I think if you have a problem, it's a health concern, you can fix it, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody would want to know.
Now, what would the recommendation, so you're saying if we find different areas where there's lead, you shut them down, and then you would be looking into whether or not you can just replace it, or, what happens if it's substantial enough that you would need to get lead filters or something?
If you can't remediate, so
Like for a cafeteria, right? Like in an area like that, obviously you need to bring in water there, so.
true, so if you find an outlet like that, if your entire kitchen comes up above the MCL, above the 15 parts per billion, you have to find some alternate source. Is that likely? I didn't find that in all my testing that I did 2 years ago. It's usually a single source or two. You could have something that's contaminating the entire building. You could have your main shut off, and that's not that likely, but it's a possibility. So once you cross this threshold, there is the potential of you might need to shut the building down. Is that likely? It's hard to say. More likely you're gonna have a few devices, a water cooler, a faucet, things like that you need to isolate immediately and go through. That's what every school district is considering right now. Actually, we have a meeting at the IU this Friday, facilities director, and that's a topic of conversation. What are you doing? What are the problems you had? We've already done it. It's this first level of testing, you're gonna find the worst things. Every year you do it, you're less likely to find more problems.
Is there any?
We're already remediating arsenic at Bedminster.
Oh.
Right,
Because
so
it
we
was
have-
above the 15, above the 10, sorry, the 10. That's the other issue. The government may or may not drop, the EPA may or may not drop the maximum level that they consider safe. That certainly happened with arsenic a number of years ago. It went from 50 to 10. In New Jersey, it went to 5. We happen to be on the Reading prong in that particular case, and so schools like Palisades High School, the Humberbox Vocational School is installing a system as we speak, and Bedminster are in the areas where those numbers are high.
So if it is something, when you say you'd have to shut down a building,
That's the worst case
but,
scenario.
so you wouldn't be able to put in a filtration system, even if it's expensive, it's better than shutting down a building. You wouldn't put in a lead filtration system, at least in the kitchen, and use that as and put in water coolers, and, you know, if you at least make one area appropriate, then you can find other ways to disperse that
I need to go to
elsewhere on a temporary basis.
So
I mean, the
that's-
high school would be the biggest hit, but that's hopefully less likely because of the newer additions.
Odds are the newer the building, I believe it's around 1988 when they started changing this UL rating of what, they stopped doing lead lining and things. But there's still brass valves and things that you can still purchase that could have been installed in this time frame that we still might have in place. Here's less likely, but the older buildings have a higher potential to have this higher number. Do I think we're gonna shut down a whole building? It's like paying the lottery, I don't know, but it's not likely. It's more likely to find a water cooler here and there, or maybe a faucet or some valves in some places.
I understand that, but I wanna be prepared for the unlikely, right? And
Sure.
so, is it possible to, so you're saying it's not possible to put in a lead filtration system?
I've only seen them on a small scale. I'm not saying that,
Yeah.
I think it's a
It would
small
That
depend
is
scale.
a
on
very
the
tough
use.
element to
Yeah.
It's more of a
because it
point
comes
of
in
use.
various forms, including colloidal. Colloidal is the toughest of all the chemical forms to deal with.
So, not 100% answer, but most likely it's gonna be a few devices, not an entire building. There's no guarantee for that. What do we do at that point? It's gonna be, what is that big main source of contamination?
Should we go around the table?
We should make sure we have a consensus.
Do you wanna go around the table and? Bill?
Okay, I'm in favor of doing the testing and seeing where we are, and then take it from there. don't know right now.
Right.
I mean, I think we have to do the testing.
Testing, as opposed to having a public meeting about it, I'd rather know where we are.
That's sort
I
of
wanna
what
know.
would be
We need
talking
to
to
know.
people about the dangers of lead and then saying, but we're not gonna test for it.
We
So-
don't know what's going on.
That, so it was like a level.
So, yeah,
Of
of
a
course,
lead.
test
Testing.
for it, yeah,
Yes.
okay, so,
And we do, I mean, this is every year, but so, if we come back with absolutely no traces of lead, then next year we have a different discussion. Maybe next year we come out and we say, okay, we tested last year, we had no problems at all, and we're going to wait another year and test every
Right.
other year,
And so we would have a
something like
meeting.
that.
So we could have the
But
discussion.
baseline.
You have that
Instead of
discussion
testing.
then,
Right.
not years.
And that
Exactly.
cost is really just your initial year, because then you're saying that you'll be able to do it in-house and then just have
Perhaps.
a schedule, potentially.
As far as I
potentially.
know, we could do all this testing, it's
Okay.
just that level of comfort to say, let's have the professional that's done this in the
Right.
past guide us through the process, so we
Uh-huh.
know we do it right, get some training, shadow them as they're doing it,
Right,
so that we know we're doing it right and we have
Right.
that confidence.
and then we could do like a schedule on a yearly
The
basis.
other thing it does, Sherry, is give, when you have outside folks do it, it gives you something that you can, that's certified.
Well, that's a good
Right.
point.
and I'm.
Right.
No, I'm
As
just,
opposed
I'm
to-
thinking moving
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the initial year that we're doing the testing, when we're spending that initial expense, it's really sort of an investment on training, not just on the testing, it's a kind of an investment on the training as well.
So let me clarify that this process, it's the collection of samples and
Mhm.
take them to a lab is what we would do. The lab has to be a certified lab by the state of Pennsylvania to do the lead testing. We
Mhm.
couldn't do that part.
No.
But we could do the collection, the transfer, and the reporting back of the results. That's how we could
Right,
save
but
money.
it's still, you'll reduce some costs moving forward.
Probably in half, close
Yeah.
to save half.
I think that's great.
Okay, good, so good? Yep.
Mhm.
So, our next facilities meeting is scheduled for January the 8th, the December 11th meeting has been canceled, and we're back to public comment.
This is from my notes. Sue Furlong, West Rockville Township. I would be curious with the lead testing. I don't have any children here, especially in grade school. But if it were my kid and he was 5 years old, I wouldn't want to wait till next year to find out. And quite frankly, $4,800 sounds really cheap to me. I would do every water outlet at least in every grade school. Maybe not the, and then, or, what you could do is get that professional help. And then what you said was you're gonna shadow them, and what you would do is take the sample, take it to the lab. Well, have them do their professional part, and then say, does this look like the right thing I'm doing over here? And you do the rest of the elementary building. And that would bring in a cost savings, but at the same time, I would test every elementary school, because those are young brains, those are the ones that are mostly everybody's impacted by lead, I don't care how old you are. But from what I understand, the younger you are, the bigger the impact on your development if you get that exposure at a young age. I wouldn't want to wait a year, and if we happen to have 15 outlets in one grade school, I wouldn't want to wait for 3 years. I would just, as a school district, for $4,800 times 3, I would at least get every outlet in the elementary schools tested, and let them do the professional part, and then maybe you chip in if you feel like you don't want to spend $4,800 times 3, and just get in the motion of learning how to do it. But I would do all outlets in the elementary school because of the age of the children.
I think it's 4,000 across the board, all 11 schools.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just saying, the concentration is in our elementary schools. We got seven out of the 11. Well, the 11th building is facilities. There's no children in there, there's adults. And I don't know how many water outlets you have in every building, I'm sure it varies by building. But especially where the young brains are, that are really severely impacted very quickly if they're exposed, I would just bite the bullet and do it. And like you say, maybe it's not even double.
Right.
Just to clarify, that was what we were talking not doing, right? We're gonna do all of them
All of
Correct.
this year?
Minimum of 5 samples per school. We can increase that number if you want to increase the number. This is about doing a representative sample of most places. It can be expanded if that's what you want to do.
So the $4,800 doesn't include testing all of it in every building?
No,
It's
it's a
taking a
representative
sample size of
sample.
5 per building?
Correct. And that's the recommendation from our consultant based on number of outlets, size of the school, number of students. It's that representative sample. I mean, you get crazy and test every water source, and you probably need at least 10 times that number.
So could we, do what you were proposing with the $4,800, have them do that, and then have our staff who are now learning, do the rest of them until we're
Sure.
done?
Right, but then he's saying that you
You're
have
still
to pay
gonna
for the
pay
lab costs.
laboratory. You still
For
pay
every
the lab.
sample you send in, you're gonna pay the lab costs, so you'll save on the collection, prices. But and for the lab costs will cost, he's saying about half.
But I would
But-
make sure in the elementary schools we were testing all the places that they could get free. Using water, not washing our hands, right? Well,
Right,
They
it comes
do,
down
but
to,
they don't.
do kids drink out of the sink in the bathroom? We had to put signs up saying hand washing only, just to clarify that we didn't test these are hand washing only in restrooms.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know that we need
Yeah.
to test places where they're not actually gonna be drinking the water. I'm more concerned about testing everywhere that the kids will drink.
And you think about elementary schools, they typically have bubblers in every classroom that kids can get a drink from. So
Right.
this could get expensive.
It could be.
Why don't we see what the representative
Yeah, I think
sample
so.
shows us?
I think
It's
so.
a
If we have
Okay.
the same machine,
Dive in deeper.
Right, it's a
Yeah.
good starting point.
I agree.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify, just because there was discussions about subsidizing another school district. When it's being capped at one district's level, it's being proportionately capped. So the only year that you could say we subsidized was the year when we had the floor, right? And that's what lost us, like, I don't know, somewhere between $200,000 and $250,000, because we didn't get that decrease. So it was 1 year, so I don't wanna give the impression that that's always been happening, but it would be the new formula that would in a sense do that, but we all said no to that formula. It's the new formula that would then make it disproportionate to the number of students that we have using the textbook.
Okay, the new formula is just different. I don't think you can say it subsidizes someone. It simply calculates that number differently.
Well, it in a sense does, because we would be paying a different proportion than we would be paying a much higher proportion than what we're actually using. So, all right, I just wanted to clarify that, because I didn't want to give the impression that we were always,